And how do we guarantee our success? Well, scientists have done studies and they've talked about the number one predictor of success. If you say that word enough, it's going to come out the wrong way. And I think a lot of times, at least in network marketing, I think we have our own preconceived ideas of why people are successful in network marketing. And a lot of times it's, oh, she got in early. That's why she's successful, right? She got in early. Or we hear a lot of, she has a huge network. She knows more people. She's more confident. She's more of an extrovert. She's great at sales. Yada, 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 blah, 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 right? And then outside of network marketing, we still hear reasons why, oh, they're successful, right? It's like, oh, they're super smart or they're talented or they've had a certain upbringing, etc. The bottom line is scientists have determined the number one predictor of success is failure. Shocking, right? It's the ability to get knocked down and then get up and keep going. That is the number one predictor of success. And too many times we get knocked down or we hear no and we're just deflated. And it takes the wind out of our sails and we're just like, I can't do this, right? Can anybody relate to that? Like, give me a thumbs up if you can relate to that, because I've been there, right? It was like, I can't do this. And we tell ourselves every reason why we can't, but they're just stories we tell ourselves. I am a very big believer, especially in network marketing. It is the most equal opportunity business on the planet. Every single person in your company sells the exact same product. They have the exact same compensation plan and they have access to the same training. The variable is you. So why anybody's successful and you're not, it's on you. And I know that sounds harsh, but I'm a pretty to the point person, but that's it. And when I finally stopped telling myself every reason why I couldn't do it, I'm not outgoing enough, I'm too insecure, I don't know enough people, I'm not a salesperson. When I stopped saying all the BS lies to myself and I finally said, why not me? That's when I achieved success. That's it. And I got to work, obviously, and I did it consistently. But that's the big difference. Those people who are successful, they don't see any other way. So I saw the movie Cars 3. Clearly I have boys, right? I have 3 boys. And in the Cars movie, it's one of my favorite lines of a movie. I don't even remember all of it, but I remember this line. One of the characters said to Lightning McQueen, how did you know you could do it? Like, how did you know you could win? And he said, I never thought I couldn't. That's a huge differentiator. Think about that. Like, you can't fail, right? There's no failure until you quit. And so when you have that mindset of like, I can do this, why not me? You just got to keep picking yourself up and doing it. Then you can't fail. You're going to succeed. Maybe not right when you want to, but you will. Do you know Michael Jordan tried out for the varsity basketball team as a sophomore in high school? Now, granted, you're supposed to play JV sophomore year in high school, but he tried out for the varsity team. They had 2 spots open. Michael Jordan, like, greatest basketball player in the world. Okay, maybe that's arguable, but I don't even think it is, right? Didn't make it. Did not make the varsity team as a sophomore. Okay, he could have packed up his sneakers and said, this isn't for me. I can't do this. Okay, but instead he used it as fuel and as motivation to drive him. He said that every day when he didn't feel like practicing, he would envision in his head that list in the locker room with his name not on it. And that's what drove him every day. So he took that failure and he used it as a source of drive to push him, right? Because you got a choice. You can face defeat and you can crumble from it, or you can rise up, right? Went on to play varsity, obviously, and was recruited before his senior season to go play in college. He brought his high school team to number 1 in the state, got recruited before college, and you know the story, became the number 1 basketball player in the world. Walt Disney was once fired from a job and told that he lacked imagination, which is hilarious because Disney is probably like the most creative place where like everybody becomes a kid again and gets to use their imagination. Like, it's in the world, and he was fired because he lacked imagination. Okay, there are so many stories of people who failed and failed and failed. And one of my favorite quotes ever, I actually put up on my Instagram page yesterday, was the one from Michael Jordan when he says, like, I failed over and over and over again, and that's why I'm successful. The key is to be willing to fail and get back up and work harder. My 11-year-old son's just starting baseball. He's never played. Okay. 5th grade, these kids have been playing forever. And he's like, I don't want to play. I'm not good. And I'm like, well, if you don't play, you won't be good. Here's the reality. You're not good at anything until you are. Think about it. Babies don't just walk. They're terrible at it. It's like hilarious watching a baby walk. Like they waddle, they trip, they fall, they take 2 steps, they fall down. But guess what? They take 2 steps, fall down, they get back up. They take 2 more and 2 more. And before you know it, your kid is running. And our kids don't even think twice about it. And I was trying to explain this to my son. I'm like, you were terrible at walking. You were terrible at riding a bike. I know I sound like a terrible mom, but I'm just blunt and honest. And I said, but you practiced and you got better and better. And now you don't even think about walking. You don't even think about riding your bike. You just hop on and you ride, right? No one's good at anything until they are. And you've got to be willing to fail over and over and over again. And I think about in my network marketing business, I was talking to someone yesterday and we were just chatting and I said, like a conversation, if I met someone at the park, I might bring up my business like this. And she said, oh, that just rolls off your tongue. And I said, yeah, after years and years of practice, I've choked more times and literally said things to people that like they walk away and I'm like, can I just die now? I'm mortified, right? But that's how you get better. You realize, okay, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. Let me do better. And you just it's like anything else in life. And I feel like, especially if you're a parent, you have an obligation to keep working until you succeed. Like my kids are watching and I'm sitting here telling my son, all 3 of them play baseball, but I'm sitting there saying, like, you've got to practice and get better and then you'll be good at baseball. And you've got to practice and get better and you'll be good at karate. And you've got to practice your spelling so you do better on your test. So who am I to not take that same advice? And they're watching. They are watching. My son was, this was like 3 years ago. He was like 8 years old. And I went to go visit his school and they had a bulletin board in the hallway. And they had taken a picture of each of the kids' heads. And then they drew their own little superhero body on it. And they had to write their own superhero quote. And at 8 years old, my son wrote, try your hardest and never give up. If you work hard and you never give up, you can achieve anything. And in that moment, I knew they're watching. They see me working hard at my business. They've seen me, fall on my face and miss goals. And they've seen me achieve goals. And they're watching. And so what better example than to go out and do it, right? So I think as kids, we try things and we don't think twice. Like we fall off our bike, we get up. But as adults, we have such a fear of failure. And yet it's part of life. You're not going to be great at things right off the get-go. But what's the alternative? You quit or you don't try? Like nothing great happens in that comfort zone, I assure you. So you need to, yes, Doreen saying you need to take your own advice. It's so true. Listen to yourself. Like I am constantly saying to my children, you can do anything. You have to work hard, be willing to sacrifice and never give up. So who would I be to not do the same? I have to do the same. I have to model that, right? And I gotta tell you guys, it's amazing when you take steps out of your comfort zone. And even if you fail and you get back up and you try again and you're just a little bit better the next time and then you're a little better and you're like, I can do this. That's where confidence comes from. So the next time you feel like you fall on your face, instead of curling up in a ball and wanting to hide and throw in the towel and say, I quit, say, okay, what can I learn from that? And how can I do better next time and apply this for success down the road? Because the number one predictor of success is failure. So if you're not willing to fail, then don't plan on succeeding. And if you want to succeed, you better plan on failing. But it's okay. If you take those failures and you use them as lessons and you learn from them, that's how you grow. And that's how you achieve your goals. And that's how you achieve greatness and you achieve success. You look at every successful person. Steve Jobs got fired from the company he started. How crazy is that? Right? You got to look at all of that, right? This is how people succeed. Jeff Bezos, he's the founder of Amazon, actually said, I don't remember the exact quote, but basically said that failure is a major part of their company. And it's something that they want people to fail because that's how they all succeed. So it's something that they stress, and that's the number one company. He's the richest guy in the world. So I'll listen to him, right? So I'll put the blog post in the comments. You can read the whole post because it's pretty interesting to see all these people who pretty much failed their way to success. And we can do the same, all right? So use your failures as lessons, Pick yourself up, brush yourself off. Every failure is just a chance to learn, a chance to grow, and a chance to get closer to success. All right, have a great day.